All right, so we made our first trip out, and I think it went okay. We went out on Monday night. We went up to Hatcher Pass. We found I don't know what they call Fish Hook Trailhead. Okay, so Fish Hook Trailhead. We went
Parking
up
lot.
parking lot. So that's where we stopped for the night. Had a pretty nice view. Weather. What about the weather?
It rained a lot.
Yeah.
But when we first got there, it was pretty decent and spritzling, so it wasn't really raining, but it was kind of sprinkling.
No, but I guess the good part about the rain was we got to find out what kind of leaks we have. Did you see anything dripping from anywhere?
Nothing obvious.
Nothing obvious. So
the ones we can't see that you have to be afraid of.
yeah, it's the leaks. So I don't smell anything unusual since we've been back, and we didn't see any. Nothing was coming through the ceiling, so I think that's good. What went well? What worked out the way you expected it to?
I'm going to start at the front of the camper. So the bed actually, and mattress was comfortable, and that went really well. And
so that's an 8-inch memory foam
that I found on Amazon. It was one of those sealed up packages. You open it and it expands and blows up in 24 hours. That did very well.
Right, and of course we trimmed it to fit this hole. Okay.
And the lines that we put up there, those worked really well for keeping light out, since we have, even with it being overcast, it's still a lot of light right now. And so being able to have some darkness to sleep at night was good.
Okay.
So that part, 10 out of 10, perfect.
Okay. So what else? There's got to be more than the bed that was good.
Well, yeah, I said I was going to start there.
Okay.
So coming down here, the banquette, whatever you want to call it, that did really well. We watched movie, or part of a movie. We chilled out, ate dinner, had breakfast, all of that. This space worked very well for that. I don't like this table. I think it's a little too big. So I think that you can make a little bit smaller table. That will work out well. The dogs were content to be up here and just chill out on the benches and use this space for getting off the floor space. So this worked well.
Well, one thing I did notice good about the table, because since it's kind of on a swivel, it was handy to turn it a couple different directions a couple times. So
yep.
I thought that was good too. Okay, what else we got that's good? We're moving down.
Moving down. Kitchen did very well. I made the comment to you before, the fact that we've had lots of campers. I kind of knew things I needed to have, things that I wanted to have, and so those are all in there. I was able to wash dishes. Just boiled some water to get hot water for dishes, and we had stuff for storage for food. We had Tupperware for leftovers, and that worked out very well.
Okay, so we're at this point. So then
we get to the stove?
We'll talk about the stove. You can talk about the stove right now if you want.
I'll partially talk about it. The stove worked very well. It was nice having 2 burners, and the back burner, it heats up water nice and quickly. So coffee in your French press, hot water for the dishes or washing faces. That worked out very well.
Okay. So we're on the good, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it
okay.
What the ice box. We don't know if it works 100% because we had a trial run and it didn't get sealed up overnight.
It's my fault.
And because of that, we can't say for certain that it worked or didn't work because there was a flaw in our test. So we'll have to try it again.
So it's just an ice box. It's not a fridge. I made a mistake when I first bought the camper, and I made the comment that it was a fridge from the vents outside, but it's just an ice box. We went to Sportsman's and we bought an Alaska brand, these freezer packs, and it was crazy because 4 of them exactly fit in the freezer. Yes, ma'am. 4 of them exactly fit in the freezer tray up there, and you couldn't ask for a better fit. They were the kind you freeze them for 36 hours and then put them in, so we did. And then somebody did not quite push that and latched all the way closed, and we ended up with a little bit of everything in there was still cold, but how efficient those are to go long term, I don't know. So
And you said that the heater was blowing up.
yeah, the heater vent is right under the ice box. Probably not ideal, but it's the only place that we can put it. So, all right, what else you got? So
Oh, speaking of
almost to the
heater, even though it was cool out, it wasn't cold, but in the morning, it had gotten kind of cool, and so you decided to turn the diesel heater on, and it comes with a remote, and I have it up by the bed, so you didn't even have to get out of bed to turn the heater on, and so that worked out very, very well.
I caught him at one point just staring at the heater vent while it was running, and I have no idea why he was doing that. So, okay, we're almost to the end.
Almost to the end. Let's see. Storage-wise, I thought it went really, really well. So we use this side for our clothing. The closet behind the fridge we used for our hang-ups. The bathroom, that worked out well with having like a linen closet in there, and then also having the little porta potty in there as well. So I think it worked out really well.
Okay, so what was the bad? What was the bad about our
Bad. There's no hot water heater no water heater other than boiling water. So that was not terrible. I mean, but you know, if you had to have a perfect world, a water heater would be nice. So kind of going with that, there's no shower inside, and if you're gonna sit down on the porta potty, it's kind of tight. Even for me being barely 5 foot tall, there's not a lot of space to be in there to go potty. But even with two, let me rotate it please. Even with two golden retrievers, one who is easily 100 pounds, I think it went pretty well. You can say the other negatives.
Okay, so negatives. Well, there's a positive. Another positive. I think the truck did pretty well.
Oh yeah, truck.
You know, we went up a pretty steep incline, and it hauled this up there and back pretty. Did fine. You know, as a transmission option when you're towing a trailer, that will kick in the engine braking action and stuff, and that helped us getting down the mountain without working the brakes hot. I wasn't in a race anywhere, so you know I took it nice and easy, but that went well. The truck worked fine. I'm not aware of anything that broke or went bad on the truck, so it's a non-issue. Things with the camper, we kind of almost sort of kind of caught it on fire. At least we had some melty going over on the fire on the stovetop, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. That was unexpected and a little bit unpleasant. Let's see. Oh, I guess another positive: the solar power. Even though we had like no sun, we had plenty of power. We had no issue.
Right.
And I thought it was really funny because the next morning I was watching a guy down with he had a F-250 and he had a pull behind travel trailer, and I saw him out there dragging cables and goofing around, and I thought, okay, here it comes, and he was firing off his generator, and so the morning silence was broken by the going on there, and we had no power issues at all, so that was fine.
Good.
Yeah. So overall, pretty good first shot out. It rained. It was sleety, cold, nasty the further north you went up. But we did get to do some hiking, and the dogs got some adventure, and we got to find out how other things worked. Made some other decisions on how we're going to do the propane. We've made some other decisions on other storage items and some other things, but overall, I would like to spend 2 nights out, but the weather was just awful, and knowing the issue with trying to burn the camper down using the stove, I thought let's just go back home, and we don't have to be out here. There's a lot of snow on the ground still. And then we noticed as we were leaving that the really rough kind of dirt gravel road that goes up over the pass up to the Summit Lake, and you follow it, I think it takes you all the way to Willow, take you all the way to Willow, Alaska. That actually just opened. So I wasn't feeling it to try to drive up it and go up and around that. Plus it was covered in fog. So anyway, appreciate you coming along, and we'll jump right in. We're going to rewind the clock, look at a few things we did wrapping up just before putting the truck camper on the truck for the very first time, and then getting on the road. So thank you, and we will catch you on the next one. Here we are on the solar panels. They're mounted, and now I'm wiring them. They're going to go 80 volts, which means that they're they're about 20 volts apiece in pure sunlight. So I'm connecting them together so they add, 20, 20, 20, 20, make 80 volts. They go in a horseshoe pattern here, plus, minus, plus, minus. And here I am drilling holes in it. But what we have to do is bring the plus, minus until here. These PV solar panel wires are not colored, so I mark them a little bit of an orange tape so I know which one's plus, minus. You can see here I've got a minus going to plus, minus going to plus, so forth. Probably would have been better if that was, yeah, it's fine. I'll zip those together up here. That's going to make that connection. So let me get the sealant on it. Then we'll go inside. Took a nice lunch break, and back at it here. You guys kind of know how I roll by now. Just kind of making it up as I go. So wanted to share with you a little bit about this Midnight Solar Classic 150. So what this thing does is it's going to take the maximum 80 volts off of the roof into here, do magic on it, like that. It'll do magic and turn it into a 12 volt feed to come out of here. Also, it's smart, and it knows kind of how to ramp a battery series up and down, do a bulk charge, maintain, etc. It's got all kinds of brains going on. Hey, look at that. So this is a circuit breaker panel right here. This is DC circuit breakers. They're not like the kind of circuit breakers that you see with AC voltage. In this case, I'm running a 70 ampere on the solar side, and on the battery side, I'm running a 100 ampere. Batteries are sitting in here on some mounts that I put together this morning. We have a tie down. I've got blocking around them that keeps them from sliding and moving. They've got plenty of space in here to do whatever it is the batteries do. And I even have room I can cover over this if I want to put an inverter here. I think I can still fit one actually in this space, a charger inverter. We'll talk about that when the time comes. Meanwhile, it is chaos. Chaos wires, chaos. I really, really wish I had realized I was going solar before I wrapped everything up on the outside. I would have done this differently. But there you go. This is what a classic 150 Midnight Solar looks like on the inside. And you're getting ready not to see this anymore. So, but everything looked pretty good. Cleaned up the sink, put it in, hooked up the water to test it, and leak city. And what it is that this thing tightens down, and there's a gasket that goes between it, and that gasket was just done, and water everywhere. So here I am, last minute, the 11th hour and 58th minute of the project, trying to be, it's way overdue. But anyway, so here it's, you hear that? Creepy, huh? Anyway, so here's how you know that you gotta whatever. So I decided to take it apart and see if I could seal it. And let me tell you something, folks. You gotta be proud. Let's turn the light on. You gotta be proud of this tool that I made. This looks almost like the factory style tool that you use on a larger house drain. This came out of a leg of a cabinet that I didn't use, and I was looking around for something, and I looked down in the pipe, and anyway, long story short, there is a homemade tool. And let me tell you, that thing locks in here beautifully, and it allowed me to get this in and out, putting the wrench on top, and out it came, which was wonderful. But that's when I discovered that the gasket was just shot. Now I need to get this together. I could order a gasket or something, but I ran down to Cash Camper to see if they had one. They actually said on the phone that they had one. When I got down there, they didn't have a gasket. But they did have brand new drains, stainless. This is all I needed here. But honestly, this was a pretty good deal. Look at that nice, beautiful versus all that pocked up. I mean, come on. Even though I've put hours into cleaning this, look how much nicer that is. So, it's actually, throat right there is a little smaller. But either way, that's a nice, fresh looking piece. I have the gasket, but I was just laughing because this has like a Mercedes emblem, peace sign center, and this has the cross in it. And my fantastic, super cool tool isn't going to turn this. So, I am wasting your time and wasting mine right now. I just need to get to putting this in, but before I do, I gotta go get Genius and make a tool for that so I can, crank. I'm not gonna crank it, but I can crank that down. Sun's out, guns out. Anyway, here we go. Okay, good news. Not perfect, but I shaved one of the little fingers off my hand dandy tool, and it will kind of suffice. Looks like it'll grab on at least 2, and better than nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on. I'm working on a little bit of electrical stuff right now, and our destination is the TV hole in a RV antenna that has a booster, and the one that I ordered is powered by a USB. I'm doing an on-off switch with it just to be on the safe side, so it's not drawing current, constantly inverting down to 5 volts. But anyway, so you'll see when I'm all done. Okay, time for the mattress. This is always fun. These things look like they're coming to life. You need a knife?
Not yet.
Oh, I think it goes this way. Which is the bottom? Oh, here's the zipper.
That's the bottom.
Well, how about you hop down and we'll come down towards the front. This is where we gotta figure out if we're gonna be cutting it, right?
Right, but it has to expand before we cut
I
it.
know. But we're gonna have to. Does this start expanding when this comes off?
Yeah.
We just tear it?
Fine, cut it.
I guess we should have cut it. It's hung up.
There.
The ad on TV says if it's more than 4 hours, call a doctor. But we have to wait 48 hours for it to get to that point, right? Okay.
I think it'll be easy to just unzipper it and then do the little cutter tool.
I think the hard part's going to be getting it out of here.
Why do we take it out?
To get the zipper to completely... The zipper, like, goes all the way around.
I think we can do it.
You want to try it? Are you going to sleep in the very front, or...
No, I'll sleep in the back so that when there's a bad guy or a bear breaking in, they eat you first.
Okay. Good night.
Right.
Okay.
That way we're closer to the fan.
Yes. Okay.
How many times will we hit our heads?
Well, these are pointy, so we're going to hit our heads. That's going to hurt. So, all right, let's hop out. Let's go find something else to do. All right, well, part of the process of getting the truck camper in the truck is to take care of some last little bit of maintenance on it. I need to change the oil in the differentials. I put that off. It would have been so much easier to do when the bed wasn't here and the front end wasn't there. But, I try to think of the hard way to do things and then dial it up a few notches, make it harder. Oh, I can already smell it. Already smell it. Oof. 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 This time you'd like to turn Turn the old schnozzle off. Oh yeah, the dust I'm laying in, it's from the Humvee from last weekend. Go back and watch my video. Us taking it in the mud pit. That mud pit, it now lives. Oh yeah, there we go. That mud pit now lives in my garage. We definitely can see they did not have royal purple in it before. Ooh, that's really ugly. Do you see that? That might explain some of the noise I hear on the front end. Yikes. Anyway, purple stuff coming in. Nikki is doing an awesome job. We have carried RV supplies with us for, I mean, technically since we've been married, right?
Yeah.
So, and some of this stuff she inherited come down from her mom when they used to take travel trailers dog showing back in the 90s, actually the 80s and 90s. And so we have all sorts of things that you use in campers. This is the smallest one of all the ones we've ever had, so obviously having to get super creative about where things go. But yeah, starting to
Toothbrush.
Yes,
Does it go in the kitchen because that's where the sink is, or does it go in?
I think it goes in the kitchen because
Okay.
that's the only sink.
Okay.
So yeah, just trying to figure things like that out, but getting kind of excited and nervous and whatever because we're going to be putting the two together. I have the truck sitting right outside waiting. I put a UO2 sensor post cat on the left side, was triggering a check engine light. I've been needing to deal with that. Obviously got the fluid changed in the gearboxes. I think the front gearbox is hosed, but hopefully if we pretend it never happened and I never saw what came out of that drain plug, it'll just be fine and we'll get by at least for a little while. Let's beat it down.
It's fine.
Okay. Well, all right. Mattress is trimmed. You want to go ahead and put a sheet on it while we're down low right now before we try to load it or not?
Yeah, that was part of what I was saying, the other stuff I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, we are getting ready to start our maiden overnight voyage. Truck campers are definitely tricky to pack. She's been working on it off and on today. We think we have our stuff. We're heavy. We are heavy loaded. We don't even know for sure that we're going to get find a place to pull in where we're headed, but we'll find out when we get there. So it's already been kind of a long day for me. It's about 5 p.m. The sun is not going to go down here. See how high it is here at 5? It'll just kind of scoot over that way. Sun won't really go down till wee hours of the morning, and then it'll be right back up. So loaded, we're headed out, and see you on the road.
there's a little bit of info. And then truck camper. Puppy dog's super excited. When you first come into the park, you've got this gorgeous river. Pretty sure it was the Little Susitna River. Look at those mountains up there and there. We're going to be climbing up kind of that direction. So that's where we're going. Are you guys ready to go camping? Heidi, you gonna go camping? Oliver, are you gonna go camping?
In the trailer tow mode. Not towing a trailer, but I guess it's the same effect. Watching the trans temperature. Started out when we were on the flat level at about 158 degrees, and we hit 180. We were climbing a, what did it say, Tim? No, how steep was the grade?
I don't know.
Pretty steep grade.
There.
So this is the valley side. So the driver gets to enjoy on the way up. I think probably all you can see is my mirror right now because they're extended, but a little bit of a windy road. Obviously pretty busy afternoon right here. I'm seeing lots of cars. I don't know where all the people are to go with all those cars. Oh, legs are out of the bag. Here comes a landing. And down. That's so cool. Okay. Our first official meal in the $500 rebuilt truck camper is brats.
Grilled brats.
Grilled brats.
Peppers and onions.
Peppers and onions. Bush's baked beans. And a solet. So, how do you say that?
Soleil?
Soleil?
I
Is
have
the
no
L
idea.
on the end silent?
No idea.
Tell me, how do you say that? Soleil? Anyway, it's a bubbly is what it is. Flavored water. And so when the grill cools down, apparently I need to bag it, put it in the truck, or the park ranger may come by and give us a up to or more $300 fine. Potential for bears getting in stuff. Really didn't think about that, so probably got to think that over a little bit, how we transport the grill or what we use it for. But anyway, worked out. First meal, first bite.
It's good.
Yeah. Tastes like the end of a lot of hard work. So, let's see. It is, how many degrees inside? Proper, 72. 72 in here and 65 outside. It's actually a very nice night out here. But we do have some light rain, and that light rain may keep other people away, which is fine with me for this. See, maybe we'll do a little bit of scouting. The mosquitoes are out, and the sun is out for a very long time. I got his beep beep with me, so hey, back up. There's the little chalets over there, little cabins. Okay, so the truck camper is way down there, way down there. Beautiful up here. Oh, more climbing. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Okay. Our little mountain goats here are climbing. They're out climbing me. Of course, they got four-wheel drive. Up they go. And let's see if we can find one. They're everywhere. Little marmot tunnels. I think that's one right here. Possibly under there. So marmot tunnels everywhere. The marmots, like little ground squirrels. And they're everywhere. Hey guys, come on. Too far ahead. Come on. Get back. So that road takes you up to the, what's the name of that lake up there?
Summit Lake.
Summit Lake.
And that's at 3,800 feet.
3,800 feet up there. Little cabins you can rent. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Let's get back down. Too far. And of course, truck camper way down there. Let's see. Keep going. Well, I think it's a lot further away than she thinks it is.
We got this.
That's where we've been. And that speck down there is the camper. That orange air sock over there is where they were jumping off and hang gliding when we got here. That is the valley below. And what do you want to see over here?
You see the top of the pass.
Oh, I guess you can see the top of the pass. Highest elevation right here, I guess. But this is a lot higher, I think, than...
I want to go to those rocks right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
We're here.
There.
Up there.
Another 100 yards or so.
That right there is easy 300 yards.
Okay. Let's see or so.
Okay.
Oliver, stop.
Okay, well, way up there, she's coming down. A smart man knows to go the distance his wife asked him to go. A smarter man goes as far as he can go and stops. You know. Because of the height thing and a couple of dogs that I'm fairly convinced as that incline increases are going to do something dumb, because these marmots, which are like little gopher, little ground squirrels, they're all over and they keep popping out of their holes and running around. And this brainiac right here thought it was going to be great to go after one straight down the hill a little while ago. So that's no good. And we're at the point now, as you're going up, that you're literally leaning in, and touching your hands to the ground, kind of crawling up. It's slightly raining. If you can hear the drops falling. Soil conditions are getting slippery, but there's no stopping her. 4'11" of her, and she is going to conquer the mountain. Anyhow, for those of you without a truck camper, you can go down there to the Hatcher Pass lodges there. Go get a cabin. I suppose that'd be fun. That road right there with those switchbacks on it looks kind of tame from here. It's a bit frightening. They actually close it down most of the year. I think I heard they're getting ready to open it maybe next week or something, or this week. And that is just beautiful because it goes up there to Summit Lake. It's gorgeous. They keep it stocked with fish. If you keep going that way, I believe it'll take you to Willow, Alaska, up over, towards Wasilla and then into Willow. And, of course, in the valley there, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. But anyway, in the valley there, the way we came up is looking back at Palmer, Wasilla. So, let's see. I can see her head up there. Maybe you can. She's bebopping along. And then we're going to start the rest of this down together. That sock sure seemed a long way off the ground from down there when the gliders were jumping off. So just beautiful. And you can hear that creek down there, that river. I guess it's a creek. It's just roaring. And I guess you can gold pan in it if you know how to do it. Maybe one of these days we'll do that. It's just beautiful here. And I'm okay with calling it right here for my climb today.
That's that parking lot down there. That's where the truck camper is. Way down there. And I'm way up here. And oh my golly, is it magnificent. There's the pass. On the other side of those rocks is Independence Mine. And there we are. I did it. Yay!
And kiss you. Oh, is it selfie time?
Yep, selfie time. With Oliver's butt in the
We
background.
got a dog butt in the background. All right, let's head down.
If you look up the mountain, kind of follow the ridge, and then there's a big long snow pile just where the snow pile's ending, and then straight up, that is the windsock that we saw earlier. And then if you continue up the ridge, there is a little snow patch right there at the top, and that was where I got to.
Nice. Oh yeah. It's good. Strong. It's good. Not ideal camping conditions at the moment, although we did, well, I scaled 3/4 of the way up there and Nikki went the rest of the way yesterday. But yeah, been raining pretty much all night, which is a good test for the camper and its water fitness. So these drippers that are on it up here on each corner act like they work in coordination with the gutter. Hey, get over here. And I've got it slightly at an angle on purpose, and this is working very well to brush the water off coming in and get it out. So hey, come on. So that is just pouring off like we expect it to. Heater worked excellent. I actually didn't turn it on until earlier this morning, and it brought us up to temperature in no time. So much so that she was complaining about how hot it was. So I turned it off. But yeah, we're dripping water here, there, everywhere. Hey, 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 come here. Heidi, get over here. dripping water as expected. Hopefully it's not dripping inside. I'm sure it is. But yeah, so far so good. Well, first breakfast in the camper. Compliments to the chef. And dogs are happy chewing bones. And we have dirty dishes here shortly. Although I'm thinking about going for another cup of coffee soon. So, good stuff. Is this telling us to do anything here?
Oh, we have a
feed.
sticker.
Yep. Alright. Lots of snow here still, though. It's incredible the difference, though, whatever this height difference is in stuff, instantly turns this into snow season right here.
Small parking right there.
I'll go around and come back.
But I don't know how many of these are not, completely covered in snow right now. So maybe walk to where they are and see if there's any path.
That waterfall up there is awesome.
Yeah, it looks like there's a path over here.
Okay, just walk it. I'll walk with you.
I don't know where to go.
I'm not worried about it. Did we read any of the literature? Management accommodated married men. Build their own houses. Boomtown, Independence Village. What is today, June 16th, 20th, something? And lots of snow. Whew. That's a big old diesel, baby. That's a big diesel engine right there. It actually says diesel engine right there on it.
Yeah, I see it now.
It was a generator. At least I can see the output over here is a generator. That's an engine too, yeah. Massive. Good Lord, this dog. You'd think he'd never walked on a leash before a day in his life. Could you imagine people complain about carpal tunnel syndrome from working on a computer? Could you imagine handling that puppy? Still batteries. You'd think by now you would understand how to walk on a dang leash, dog. Still batteries in that little train. A bunch of batteries in this one. Lots of batteries. Oh my. We need to hook our solar panels up to that. Nice view. Come on, bud. What's that?
I need another picture.
Turn the camera on, he stops doing it. I don't know if he's I don't know if he's snow rolling or trying to get his leash off. Just going to share the fun of the descent of the pass right now. We've got the fog settled in, and I'm glad that you got to see stuff yesterday because there's nothing to be seen but fog. We're going easy on the truck. I don't have one behind me right now, and there are some serious whoop-de-doos in this road, so we're just gonna ease down. But yeah, it's a gray fog everywhere. Hopefully when we punch down below this level, it'll be brighter and sunshinier in the valley. We'll see. So our first outing was pretty much a success. We opted to come back to the house and not do a second night for a variety of reasons. One of them was this container, this compartment was not lockable. Number one, it wasn't lockable. It actually had a little window lock here. It was locked, but it was a window lock that you just twist over top that was really loose. And the prior owner had two of them on here at one point. I put one back. Really should have thought this through. Didn't. And it occurred to me that I was at danger of this thing flying off. And believe me, I've got a lot of work into it. So I hate to see this thing just fly away. So what I did is Nikki picked up a lock at the local RV place. And after a little bit of modification, if you look here on the back side, I've got an aluminum plate that I actually created a square hole The square hole is because your lock has, it's not perfectly round. It's got 2 flat sides, so it's basically 5/8 of an inch. So I made a U-shaped square hole in this bracket, and that allowed me to put that in. And right over here on the body of the RV is just a simple toe cleat. So that allows me to, when I remember to turn this the right direction, up like that, and in, we can lock it now, and there it is. Okay, so you see this terribleness? I was afraid that would happen. I truly was. The instructions on this stovetop talk about being 2 inches. And anyway, whatever the instructions were, I followed them in terms of the dimensions. And what happened is we had a large pan on here. Should have known better. And it was all the way essentially touching this. And, well, you can see what happened. I knew that was probably going to happen. And I was sitting right here, and I was watching smoke that was coming around. And the fan was working great. Everything was doing its thing, but there was smoke that was kind of working. I thought, that's not natural. Here's what we're going to do. I have this aluminum plating. This was actually on the camper when I bought it. They had it on the back, closing out the rotted corners. Hung on to it. This stuff's actually very pricey. See how thick it is. This stuff's very pricey to purchase. And it will clean up. I do have some random holes in here. We were discussing kind of how much money we've spent on this, that, and the other thing. And while I can go down for a couple $100 and buy some nice, beautiful, polished metal, I'm going to polish this up. We're going to deal with some random holes in it. This is the future of the backsplash around the stove. Very unscientific experiment to get an idea what kind of heat resistant properties this aluminum shielding will do. Now there's some undercoating that somebody sprayed on this aluminum, that black stuff. I've cleaned that off of the panels that I put in the camper. We're getting some smoke, which has got to be that, obviously that undercoating is melting, but our tissue is not bursting into flame. Tissue's not bursting into flame, and again, see that undercoating? That's what you're seeing smoking. But that didn't catch fire. Didn't catch fire. So that makes me feel pretty good that unless all heck breaks loose, this is going to prevent a melt flame up like what we saw yesterday. So we'll let that dry a little bit, do a little cleanup, and that is our new backsplash around the stovetop.